Okay, so this is going to be a quick overview of Flipgrid and how to use it as an instructional tool to support students who have unique instructional needs. So the first thing that you need to do is go to flipgrid.com. It will bring you to this page. If you have not yet clicked the educator sign up button, that is the first step that you need to do, and it will connect you with your Google account. I've already done that, so I'm going to just go to educator login. So within Flipgrid, there are grids, topics, responses, and replies. A grid is essentially kind of like a binder, so a place where you would hold a bunch of different things within it. A topic is kind of like a folder within that binder. And so within a topic is where you would ask a very specific question or have a specific task. A response are the videos that an individual can respond to the topic question or prompt with by recording themselves. There is also the ability to reply to one of those responses. So I'm going to go through a few different functions. To create your own grid, you click Add New Grid. You would name it whatever you want to call it. So if I wanted to say Reading Responses, and we can just click the school email option because that automatically connects anyone with the spsdme.org handle on their email. So then it automatically creates it, and this is what it looks like. Now within the grid, you can have multiple topics. Right now there's just an automatic one in there. I'm going to delete that. Oops. And I do that by going to Action, Delete Topic, and determine, yes, I do want to delete it. So now I want to put something in here. So I'm going to click Add New Topic. And let's say it is Week 1 Reading Response is the title. You can choose how long you want to allow a student to be able to respond, up to a maximum of 10 minutes. Keep in mind, if you have a bunch of students, you probably don't want to give that much time, because if you have 20 students and you give them each 10 minutes, that's 200 minutes of your time to listen to them. So something to be aware of. So I'm going to leave it at the automatic 1 minute 30 seconds. I might put in more specific directions like, what did you learn from the article this week? You could also add other media to help the people who are responding, the students who are responding to your Flipgrid topic. I could record a video of myself giving more explicit directions, which is helpful for any students who perhaps listening is a better way for them to get directions and information rather than reading directions. I could also attach a video that I've found through some other platform like YouTube or something. I could upload an image or a bunch of other options. I'm going to skip that for now. And then I'm just going to hit Create Topic. And now it's ready. So this link is what I would share with students. I can do it directly through this icon to Google Classroom, or if I'm using Seesaw or something else, I can simply hit Copy, and then it copies that link and I can paste it into Seesaw wherever I want. So let's see what the student view looks like. They would be prompted to sign in with their own Google account, and then it says Reading Responses, Week 1 Reading Response. What did you learn from the article this week? Now I can click on this immersive reader option too, so that it will read the text for the student.
What did you learn from the article this week?
It is somewhat robotic, but it's better than nothing. And so then this is where a student can respond. They would do so by clicking the green plus button to record a response. A screen comes up where they can record their video. There are a bunch of different little options here to add stickers and emojis and things like that. I would encourage you to go over the use of that with students so that it's not a distraction during their video. One tip that I like to use is that I will tell them that they can't do it in their video, but at the end, when it prompts them to take a selfie, they can. And that is usually something fun for them to look forward to. Okay, so to make their video, you simply click the record button and then it starts recording, blah, 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 blah. And then you hit next. It'll give you an option and then to listen to it. And go back and either add more or redo it if you want. And then you click next. It'll prompt you to take their selfie. So this is where you can let students draw if they want, etc. Add pictures, things like that. Take a picture, hit next. You could redo the selfie if you didn't like it. Okay, and so then once it's done sort of loading, oops, let's get out of that. It'll prompt me for my display name. If you want, you can change it to sort of your teacher name. And you can title it. So this might become important if you are going to be submitting responses for a student to view. I'll talk more about that in a little bit. Another option to think about is that you can include a link in responses as well. So if I had a video that I thought was useful or that I was referencing in a response, I could paste it here and submit the video. And then it says, congrats, completed. So this is what the student's response thumbnail would look like if they had responded to you. Now, the other thing that you can do, or that anyone can do, is that you can reply to responses. Record button. So if a student records a response and you want to say something back to them, you can simply click the green speech bubble icon to reply. And it takes you through that same process. So perhaps I wanted to say, oh, Johnny, great thoughts, but I'm wondering if you can dig a little deeper and try using the blah, blah, blah strategy, whatever you want to say. And then you hit next, go through that same process again, take a selfie, next, and then it will load it. And so then what it looks like is attached to the response is a little bubble that shows a picture of whoever replied. So there can be multiple replies on here. Okay, so that was the basics of how to create a grid, a topic, and a response and reply. So if you go up to the top right here again and click on your name and then go to the educator login, this is where it shows you all of the grids that you've created. A couple of things to know how to do. So on this top example topic, if I want to edit the grid, I just can simply click on that pencil, or there are a bunch of different actions that I can take. So if you realize you've created something and you didn't name it what you wanted to, or you want to change how long the students are allowed to talk, you can do that as well. That's actually within editing the topic, not the grid. So actually down here. So test student topic. So if I realized I wanted to make it shorter or longer, I could do that, or add other attachments that I thought were going to be helpful. I also have the ability to make it so students can't see each other's videos until I activate them, which may or may not be helpful to do, or to change the settings so that students can or cannot reply to one another, and a few other functions within there that may be helpful for you. Let's see. So thinking about how this tool might be used for unique individuals or individuals with unique learning needs, who you might be using with just one-on-one or with a very small group as opposed to a whole classroom. This tool allows for kind of an ongoing online dialogue between you and the student. So for that purpose, it makes sense to create only one topic within the student's grid. So in my opinion, you would create a grid that has the name of the student, and then within that grid, there is just one topic, one place where you can post videos to them and where they can post videos to you. And so what that would look like is, if we go to the student view of it, let's go back here. Now the student would see a picture of a teacher who's given some sort of information to them that may be helpful. So if the student is doing a math problem within their classroom teacher's Google Classroom, and you know that they're going to or you think it's likely that they're going to struggle with that assignment, you want to think about how can I best support them? What strategies can I offer or model for them? And because we're not in person, you can't do that as much, but you can through Flipgrid. So you could create a response by clicking on the green plus and share how you would support them with that particular assignment. Again, once you end the video, you would want to name it something, title it something that indicates to the student what it's about. So for example, 326 two-digit adding, partial sums on a number line. And then the student, on the other hand, can post and pose a question if they're confused or need help with a very specific thing. Let's see. Another really important feature, if I go back to my educator login, if I have if I go back into the student topic, if there is a response that I have created for a student that I think would be beneficial for another student to hear, I can share that with them. So the way that I would do that is click on Actions, Duplicate Response, select the student who I wanted to send it to on that grid, and then just choose their topic as well. I'm not going to actually do that right now. So that brings me to another important point. When you are giving a response to a student and offering up an instructional strategy, it's potentially helpful to avoid using their name so that if you do end up wanting to share it with another student, it's nameless. It's not saying, "Hey, Sally," when really you're sharing it with Billy. One other quick thing to show you, you can make other people co-pilots, so co-teachers on a grid, so that if you want more than one adult to be able to have full functions capability, they can as well, so that more than one person can respond. To do that, you simply click on Actions and Add Co-Pilots, and then type in their email address. They do have to have already created a Flipgrid account prior to doing that, though, just so that you are aware of that. So this is really just like the tip of the iceberg with Flipgrid, and it breezed through things very quickly, but hopefully it refreshed your memory from our Google meeting the other day and filled in any holes from when there were gaps in the internet. If you have any more questions or want to learn other tools about how to use Flipgrid, please contact me.